It's been a rough 24 hours. This last person to talk to Charlie Kirk. Here's maybe a better vantage point of me. I'm not going to show a video of what happened, mostly because I can barely watch it. But yeah, here's what I asked. First off, you sick psychos that think this is the answer, it's not. I don't know what else to say. It's not. It's awful, and a father doesn't have his kids anymore. And people have obviously pointed to the irony that the point that I was trying to make is how peaceful the left was. And as much as I disagree with Charlie Kirk, I'm on the record for how much I disagree with Charlie Kirk, but like, man, dude, he is still a human being. Have we forgotten that? Are we crazy? Like, it's been a rough 20.
I mean, we know this, right? We know that the radical left is radical. This is not a secret by any stretch of the imagination. To me, it's often confusing that people on the left don't see this. It took someone to be assassinated for this individual. I'm not even completely sure of his name, but he was the guy who was speaking to Charlie Kirk before he was assassinated. It took this event for him to kind of see, like, hold up, maybe I'm on the wrong side of the fence here. Maybe I've got it wrong. And if you've got something wrong, of course, there's nothing wrong with admitting, you know what, I'm wrong. This isn't right. I see that we really aren't as peaceful as we like to preach. We really aren't as kind and all these things that the left will say that they are. We know, right, well, people outside of the left, when they see what they consistently do, right, we know that they're not peaceful, that they're not kind at all. It's hypocrisy. It is a constant theme that something like this happens. We don't see this from people on the right. And I'm not saying people on the right are perfect. Nobody's perfect. But we can look at what is consistent at the very least. And this kind of behavior, right, on the left is consistent. We know this. Remember, Charlie Kirk was assassinated essentially because somebody or a group of people didn't agree with his message, right? Charlie Kirk was assassinated because of his opinions, right? Crazy, very, very crazy. I hope, and I see that already, you know, this is a wake-up call for a lot of people, especially believers, you know, if you're in the body of Christ, if you're someone of faith. As a wake-up call, again, I think you should be more bold with your opinions and with your faith especially. Don't let this discourage you by any stretch of the imagination. You keep going and you keep doing your thing. It has only heightened Charlie's message, so it has actually backfired against the individual or the left, if you will, which I think is beautiful, and that is the positive thing that we see from this, that it has backfired on them. It even made his message even larger than life now, if you will. So let's get into some comments and see what the people are saying. Has anyone asked how you are doing? Oh yeah, 39.9K questions. Yeah, well, he doesn't seem like he's doing well. I can't imagine watching someone get assassinated in front of you, especially when it's someone as big as a Charlie Kirk, right? It's like, whoa, like that's never going to leave his mind. Imagine if, you know, and I don't know his like sexual orientation or whatnot, but imagine when he's older, nieces, nephews, kids, he can say, I was the kid who watched him get assassinated. I was debating Charlie Kirk as he was assassinated. I saw the blood leak from his throat, which is crazy to say. Like, I hope this guy, I'm definitely gonna pray for him, especially as now I'm speaking this out like after this video, because I know that's some heavy stuff right there for sure. I'm sorry you had to see that. Yeah, that is unfortunate. You go to, and that was the cool thing about Charlie. You know, his virality came from his conversations with the youth. He was really tapped into the youth, going into the college campuses, allowing them to speak their mind. You know, he was like, this is my stance, let's hear your stance. So we could really see the frame of minds from both sides of the fence, right? It made for good content and was very entertaining. And that's how a lot of people saw sort of the ideology of the youth, the ideology of how the college students are thinking today, which is a lot different than how they were thinking back then. And that's fair game. I mentioned in my past video And even I want to get a shout out to this dude because I have respect for people who can show face. You know, Charlie Kirk showed face. You can never say that he was a coward. You can't say that these people are cowards when they have an opinion or something that they stand for and they're willing to stand there in front of you and speak their mind. You guys can go back and forth and have a civil dialogue, which is how it should be. Of course, we know that when it comes to things like religion or politics, yes, there is very emotional because those are things that really matter to people, you know, on the inside. But nonetheless, we should still be able to be mature enough, right, to sort of put our feelings to the side and look at the facts or nuances of the conversation. So yeah, I'm feeling for oh boy. What else we got here? Hell of a way to win the debate. Oh my God, I was not expecting to read that comment. Hell of a way to win the debate. My mind was not, excuse me. I gotta go into this comments. Hold on, I gotta see. If you had to shoot someone with a microphone, you lost the debate. I'm gonna like that. Yes, I completely agree. But no, that's what this is and that's the thing, because Charlie was obviously a great debater, he was a great speaker. We see that essentially this is what it's coming down to. I can't beat you, right? I can't go point for point with you because you're a better speaker. You're smart. You know more. How can I win? The only way I can win is I can call you names. And it just gets to a point where, you know, even that doesn't work. Now I just have to take your life because I can't beat you. And you see this echoed really over the centuries, stemming from even before Christ, I would say. But you kind of see this amongst believers over the centuries where we cannot stop you. So we're just going to take your life because we don't like what you're saying. Right? Obviously, the perfect example of this would be Christ, Jesus himself, to where influence is bigger than life. He's innocent. We can't stop him. Take his life, crucify him. It is the same thing here in that we cannot stop your message. You're too smart. You're smarter than us. You have more influence than us. People love you. You have the hearts of people. You know what? Take his life. That's what this is. This isn't new. We've been seeing this, right? When people get so big, so popular, so influential, we don't like what they're saying. Take their life. That's the only way they can stop the message, even though it doesn't really stop. It only gets heightened. So it only backfires. I'm going to leave it at that as far as the comments. But I would say, you know, again, do not let this stop your message. Grow larger than life. Be bold with your faith. Speak your mind, you know. Again, Charlie wasn't a coward. I've said this in my previous video. I'm thinking I might just do a whole separate video on this. But moving forward, again, when people that are in the political space, if you're someone even now watching this and you're in the political space, you like to talk politics, and if you're someone of influence, if you are going to have a conversation with people involving politics, we have to look at the past, and that every time we see, right, one of these assassinations, I have noticed it's always because it's at an outside event. Moving forward, have these conversations indoors, right, with security that is as tight as it is at the airport. That way you can check everything that is coming in so we can be better equipped, or, you know, better safety precautions, because that way nothing should be unexpected. If you're checking every single person that is coming into a building, we will know what they have or don't have. That way we know, at the very least, we can have civil discourse, right, conversation, and you don't have to worry about somebody shooting you. But even as I'm speaking that right now, and I think that's a better pathway, even if you're said popular political speaker, you even have to watch yourself when you're exiting the building, right, or coming into the building, which might make you want to question if you even want to have those in public at all. But I'm sure there's a lot of brave people out there that are willing to put their, you know, their life on the line for the greater good. And I'm cut like that too. You know, something like this, if I was as big or a Candace Owens, or if I was blessed enough to have something like that, I would still speak my mind. I would use wisdom, of course, but I would also be understanding of what could happen. And I think this is like a wake-up call to other people in that space, you know, people who go out there and speak to the students and speak to the youth. This could happen. And I'm sure they're aware of that. So move with caution is what I would say. Again, to other people who have fans that are within politics, pray for them. It's something I do, especially after this moment. Pray for their protection. And ultimately, keep doing your thing, right? That's all we can do. We can learn from the experience. That's how we've gotten to where we are today, through learning from past things. Again, I do these things in buildings, in closed doors. That would be my advice. Let me know what you guys think of the video, and I'll see you guys next time.